Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the weekly Sequoia commercial lending training. And as you can see, the team is actually exploding. Just like what Queen D said, we're all very busy helping each other out. We didn't even expect how many people showed up. And I was surprised for the last 2 weeks. We have over 200 people sign up with Sequoia and Zurich, of course. But tonight we are going to be talking about Sequoia commercial lending. But anyway, there are so many new agents that join us. That tells me one thing. The market is out there. People are hungry to look for a new opportunity and get into a business venture that makes sense. Okay. So commercial lending is not a new business. We are just using a new ways to work in commercial lending to disrupt this industry. Now, I keep talking about disrupting this industry. What exactly do I mean by this? What I meant is that for the longest time, for people that needs money or for people that know somebody that needs money, have no idea where to find money other than the bank. We all understand what commercial lending means, but most of us have no idea what commercial lending does. And even worse yet, where is the door? If today I get up in the morning, I got a client call me up saying that, hey, I need $5 million to purchase a warehouse. I need $300,000 to expand my business. I need $100,000 to purchase an equipment for my restaurant. Where can I find this money other than the bank? And quite frankly, a lot of people have no idea we exist. And I oftentimes use this example, and I pretty much every single meeting I use this example. You go to any advertisement platform, you open up the newspaper, you turn on the TV stations, you listen to the radios, you look at Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you name it. Every single advertisement platform, you see pages after pages after pages of people that's selling houses, promoting insurance, selling mortgages, doing contracting work, restaurant CPAs, you name it. You got the idea. But you never see us. You never see a commercial lending broker or commercial lending consultant put up their advertisement saying that, hey, if you need money for your business, I'm the persons to go to. You do not see that advertisement. Okay. So that tells us that door is closed. So what Sequoia is trying to do right here is to disrupt this industry, to get the door open. Let as many people know about us as possible. And how do we do that? Through you. We need you to be with us. And I'm so happy to see so many agents join us for the last 2 weeks. And so far as 2023, up to today, we already have over 500 subscriptions through Sequoia Lending. So we will expand this business. And our goal as a company is to reach to at least 5,000 agents by the end of this year. 5,000 agents across the United States. These are the core C that we are looking for. I'm not here to present an opportunity, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here to present a disruption, revolution. This is a revolution of an old industry. So again, that is what we are trying to do right here. Now, obviously, with all these agents came on board with us, one question start to keep asking me over and over and over and over. What is commercial lending? What is commercial lending? What can we do in commercial lending? Okay. So tonight, I am going to talk about commercial lending basic. When I say basic means that no mean by tonight, you will become an expert in commercial lending. But yet, after tonight, at least you have an idea what we are trying to do right here. What can you get into Sequoia? What kind of capability do you have to service our community, to service our business owners? Okay, so that is what we're going to talk about tonight. So let me share the screen with you and let's jump into the presentation. So commercial lending basics. So the first thing that I want to share with everyone is that what commercial lending is not. All right. We are not a residential mortgage broker. So when we talk about lending, a lot of people automatically think about, hey, you are just out there just like another mortgage broker, that when I go out there to buy a house, you give me a loan, things like this. Yes, we can definitely do that, but that is not our business. There are so many loan officers out there already provide this business. And do me a favor, do a Google search. Do a Google search on U.S. mortgage loan officers. I think the number is approximately 330,000. There are 330,000 people or broker out there are providing this kind of service. So we do not want to get involved with this business. There's so much competitions. Okay. So we stuck with commercial lending. So what is commercial lending? Commercial lending, again, it is a contract, it's an arrangement between two businesses. So one business needs funding. And what we do as a commercial lending broker is to line up that business with the right funding. That is what we do. We do not underwrite a loan. We do not process a loan. Okay. All these things are done by our lender. So you, as a commercial loan consultant, we do not call ourselves loan officer. That is the name for mortgage loan officer. Okay. We do not use that name. We call ourselves the loan consultant. So as a loan consultant, all you have to do is to identify who needs funding out there. And quite frankly, every single business or every single project needs funding, no matter what they are, no matter how good they are, no matter how long they're in business, they all need funding. Okay. The funding, such as working capital, a restaurant that needs funding to purchase inventory, that needs money to purchase inventory, that's working capital. A doctor's office that needs funding to purchase a medical equipment, so that is called equipment loan. A trucking company that need money to purchase 18-wheeler, that is truck funding. Investor purchase something called fix and flip. They go out there to purchase property, fix it up, and sell it. That is called fix and flip loans. A developer purchase a piece of land that they need land loan, or they need development, or they need construction, so on and so forth. Those are all we call commercial lendings. So help me to start to think around you, in your community. Do you know anyone that needs money as a business? I'm not talking about personal, okay? I'm talking about as a business. Do you already know somebody that out there needs funding? And that is what we can do as in this platform. And now that's what you can do. For the longest time, nobody knows where this door is. Now you found it. There got to be a purpose for you to be here tonight. Okay, you found this platform. Through this platform, you can service as many business owners as possible. We have over 500 different funding sources. When I say 500 different funding sources, means that they're not just a bank. Yes, we work with a lot of local banks, but we also work with a lot of private fundings. For example, institutional money, hedge funds, Wall Street monies, private fundings, insurance money, so on and so forth. All those money are what we have access to and what you will have access to. Okay. Now, commercial lending, the biggest difference is that we do not lend to personal. We have to lend it to a business, whether it's an LLC, a C corporation, S corporation, or even a trust. It does not matter. As long as it's not to a personal, that is the type of funding that we do. And a lot of people ask me, hey, Alan, I'm just buying a single family home. Can I fund it under my own personal name? No, you cannot. Okay. We do not encourage you to purchase any investment property under your personal name due to liability and many other different reasons. And as a matter of fact, in our line of business, now when you go to a bank, okay, or when you go to a traditional mortgage company, if you purchase the property under a personal name, you will have a better rate than if you were going to them to purchase it under an LLC. That is how they work. But in our line of business, you come to us and purchasing under an LLC, the interest rate is a lot better when you purchase versus when you were purchasing under your own personal name. And as a matter of fact, not many lenders out there are willing to fund you under your personal name. So you have to set up an LLC. Okay, so that is very, very important. And also, when I say the banks says no, we say yes. This is our slogan. And if you go to our website, and if you're a Sequoia member, you should have your own website. And if you go to your website, the first thing that you see is this slogan right here. When bank says no, we say yes. Why is it like this? It's because that is the reality. I don't know how many people are actually in this room are bankers, that you work for a bank. If you are one, you know what I'm talking about. If you're not, feel free to talk to your banker, okay, to confirm what I said. Many business owners, when they go into the bank, let's say 10 go into the bank, 9 out of 10 walk out empty-handed. And that is the reality. Why? Because bank is the most conservative lending institution. If they do not like your tax return, if they do not like your financials, if they don't understand your project, if they think your project is too risky or whatsoever, they would not give you a penny. Now, what happened to those 9 people? They can come to us. Those are our client. When they got rejected by the bank, we love them. We are here to provide solutions for all these business people out there. And again, we do business in all 50 states. We're lending in all 50 states. And there it's, ladies and gentlemen, that's the sweet things to your ear. There's no licensing needed for you to do something like this with us. And I said it one more time. There's no licensing needed in commercial lending. If you are, let's say if you are a real estate agent, you sell a house to a client, and a client goes to a traditional loan company to get a loan, and that is what we call an agency loan, okay? In order for you to fund an agency loan, you have to get licensed for it. But now, if the client purchased the exact same property and use that property as an investment and under an LLC and come to us to get a funding, we do not need license to fund that property. Okay, so don't ask me why. That is the reality here in the United States. All right. So again, that is what commercial lending is. So think about this. It opens up a door to a lot of people. And I bet you in this room already, we have 73 people in this room. I bet you already know at least 1 to 5 businesses that needs funding. Think about this, okay? So now, what type of funding that can we do? Now, this is the fun. If you don't know what it is, go to your website under product, okay? Go to your website under product. And as a matter of fact, let me show you right here. This is our website right here, okay? You go to products, and you draw it down a little bit. So this is all the funding that we can do. All the funding that we can do. Now, guys, if you already joined Sequoia, you will have your own website like this. And if you look at the URL, this one is for admin. That's for the corporate account. But if you join us, you will have your own account exactly like this. And when your client click on, for example, when they click on, let's say 1 to 4 investment property, click on applied, now that becomes your client. The system lock you in and knows that this client came into the system through your website. And when we close the deal, you make money. All right. So again, feel free to advertise this link, advertise your link to as many people as possible, and everybody comes in. This is your client. So let's get back to the presentation right here. So what type of loans that we can do? Just want to fill out a few. Multifamilies. Now, multifamily is not 1 to 4 units. Multifamily, imagine that you have an apartment building. You have more than 5 units. That is called multi-unit or multifamilies. Okay, we can definitely fund that all day long. Now, as a matter of fact, multifamily right now is the hottest asset, one of the hottest assets out there in the industry right now. We all know the interest rate has gone up so much since last year. The prime rate right now this year is at 7.725. Do a Google search. The prime rate is 7.725. And if you go out there to purchase a single family home as an investment property. I don't know about the bank, but for us, the rate starts at 7%. It's a 3/4 lower than the prime rate. Okay, that is single family home. But however, if you're talking about multifamily, now I'm talking about a stabilized multifamily. What is stabilized multifamily means? Meaning that all units are rented out. You are collecting rent on a monthly basis every single month. We can get rate as low as 5.5% today. Can you believe it? We can get rate for 5.5% for multifamily. Okay, so you can imagine, go out there to look for people that is either own a multifamily that they want to cash out, or somebody that is purchasing multifamilies. So that is the one type of things that we can do. Mixed use. What is mixed use? Especially in some of those newly developed neighborhood or some old communities. Let's say, for example, you walk downtown Los Angeles or San Francisco or New York. There's a lot of mixed use. So on the first floor, you have retail, and from second floor and above, you have residential. So the building is actually mixed use. So now for this type of property, you go to traditional broker, mortgage lender, they cannot fund it. We fund this type of properties all day long. Okay, all day long. Of course, we talk about investment property. I already mentioned something. Investment property, you purchase a single family home, you purchase a townhouse, you purchase a condo, as long as the property is used for investment purpose, we're okay. We can definitely use in LLC. Now, there's a good thing about purchasing an investment property using an LLC versus your own name. When you buy it, use your own personal name, when you get a loan, what happened? Your credit report will show that you have a mortgage. Am I correct saying that? Now, when you purchase a property using an LLC, who owns the loan? Is it you or LLC? LLC. So you do not own the loan, even though you are the principal of that LLC. Does it make sense? So in your personal in your personal credit report, it does not show up. That loan does not show up on your credit report. Do you know that? How many of you know? How many of you don't know? If you don't know, type in 1 in the checkbox. Okay. Now that is one of the advantage of purchasing under an LLC. Now, there's another thing a lot of people know, but they don't know. It's to purchase under an LLC is its liability is to protect you as an investor. Okay. How many of you know bad lawyers out there? Type in 2 if you know bad lawyer. A lot of bad lawyer out there try to scam you or try to get to you. Now, let me tell you what happened out there in the market right now. If you have an investment property, okay, under your name, when you go out there, when you rent it to a tenant, and for whatever reason, let's say the tenant having a party inside of the house, and he walks upstairs, he hit a few drinks, and he's a little bit buzzed. He walked upstairs and he pushed the rail, and somehow the rail is loose. He fall down the steps and broke his arm. What happened? For sure, that tenant is going to sue you as the landlord of that property. Am I correct saying that? So now, if you are the one that purchasing the property under your own name, they will sue you personally, which means that anything under your name can be exposed to lawsuit. Your family, your primary residence, your bank account, your investment, your car, whatever under your name can be used to compensate that tenant. Now, let me tell you what happened. In this business, we work with a lot of lawyers. We partner up with a lot of lawyers. Okay. Now, what happened is that a lot of lawyers out there searching the internet to see who owns investment property. And now when they found out somebody owns investment property, guess what? They will send a letter to that property, to the tenant. They will say, tenant of this property, so on and so forth. I'm a lawyer. If there's anything happen to you, I will help you to sue for free. You know why it's for free? Because if the property is under the personal name, they know that those lawyer knows they can get to this person. Okay. Now, however, when they do a search, and if they search the property is under an LLC name, most likely they won't touch it. Why? It's because the property is under an LLC. Even though when you sue, who do you sue? You sue the LLC, not the person. Am I correct saying that? And if there's nothing under an LLC, even though you win the case, you got nothing back. Does it make sense? Okay, so that is protection. So ladies and gentlemen, if you're new to our industry, please understand something like this. Purchasing stuff under an LLC has a lot of great advantage to it. Okay, now last but not least, when you have a property under your own name, and let's say in the future you want to pass that pass the property to your children or sell the property, most likely you will encounter tax, transfer tax, sales tax, whatever that might be. But now when the property is under an LLC, guess what? You don't need to sell the property. Okay, you can add that person onto the agreement for that LLC, which that person becomes the member of that LLC, and you get out of it. Now that person owns that LLC, which owns the property. Now, did the property ever change in title? No, it did not change in title. Does it make sense? So it will save you a lot of tax. So again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not here to talk about tax, okay? I'm here to talk about commercial lending, but using an LLC to purchase is very, very important. And quite frankly, all of our lender will require you to purchase any property under an LLC. And also we do a lot of fix and flips. You know what that is? Purchasing a property, fix it and sell it. Now, this type of property is very, very, regardless what happened out there in the market, okay? Fix and flip is out there. It's a business. So you can set up an LLC today and you can use that LLC to purchase and fix and flip or any other investment property tomorrow. There's no seasoning whatsoever, all right? Let's move forward. Office buildings. Nowadays, a lot of doctor's office, a lot of architecture companies, so on and so forth, used to rent space because of COVID, because of whatever happened. A lot of office condo are dropped in price. And many of these business owners are out there purchasing office condos, office buildings. Constructions. Yes, we do construction all day long. Whether you are building one single family home or you're building a community of single families, or you are building a mixed use apartment buildings or even hotels, so on and so forth. And I do believe that somebody in here, in this room right here, it's one of our agents is working for a hotel construction for about I would say it's about $70 million construction loan in this room right here, okay, a building. So yes, we have that ability. That is construction. That is commercial lending, ladies and gentlemen. Agriculture, people buy a piece of land to grow trees, to grow orange, to grow, whatever products or cattle, whatever that might be. Yes, we can definitely do that. You're buying a warehouse. Warehouse is another yet very, very hot asset. Okay, due to COVID, a lot of people now purchasing stuff online, Amazon, eBay, so on and so forth. So a lot of this e-commerce used to be that they are renting their office warehouses, and now they're out there to buy warehouses, and some of them even build their own warehouse because they see the demand of it. So again, so on and so forth. Those are all the different type of funding that we can do for commercial lendings. So I hope that you can start to think, what can we do? What can you do? Who do you know that needs this type of funding, right? So what type of loan can we do? Well, again, it's just like the traditional residential. You can do a purchase. You can buy a warehouse. You can do a refinance. We can do a blanket loan, meaning that somebody that owns 5, 10, 15 properties, we bundle them together and give them a blanket loan. We can do a bridge loan. And as a matter of fact, guys, bridge loan is the core of our business, because a lot of commercial properties, when they purchase it, they use bridge loan for whatever reason. And last year, I did a training on the forecast of 2023. And one of the major business for this year will be refinance bridge loan, okay? Bridge loan is a short-term loan. So for example, when somebody out there purchase a warehouse, and when they purchase it, the warehouse is empty. There's no rent. There's no tenant. So that warehouse itself does not generating any income. Does it make sense? So when the property is not generating any income, No lender will give you a term loan. A term loan means that 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Those are term loan, a long-term loan. All the lender will give you is something called a bridge loan. They give you a short-term loan, normally between 12 to 24 months, so that when after you purchase the property, you can do any renovation if necessary. You can start to market the property. You can rent it out so that you can start to collect rent. So once you stabilize the property, meaning that you're collecting rent on a monthly basis, then what happened? Then now we can refinance that bridge loan out to become a long-term note. So right now, every single, well, not necessarily right now, it's as a matter of fact, it's every single year, there will be property, their bridge loan, it's up, and it's time for them to refinance whether they like it or not. So guys, go out there to look for this type of loan. They're out there, they're all over the place. All you have to do just to start talking, start posting in your community, and let them know that you can help them to get out of their bridge loan. Okay. Term loan, we talked about that already. SBA loan, absolutely. Right now, there are a lot of people out there buying businesses, or they already own a business, but they are leasing that place. But now they want to purchase that property instead of leasing it. We can definitely use SBA loan. Now, SBA loan, we can do all the way up to 90%, all the way up to 90%. Okay. So again, all these type of loan, we can definitely do it. And get back to, cannabis. Okay. Absolutely. That cannabis loan, there are a lot. Well, again, personally, I don't like cannabis. Okay. But again, it is out there. There's so many lenders now. Cannabis still, it is federally still illegal, but there are so many different states already legalized cannabis. You can grow cannabis, you can do hemp, you can do all kind of stuff. So as long as the product makes sense, the project makes sense, we have funding for them. And as a matter of fact, we just funded a $10 million cannabis loan last year for a lady in New York. She owns a warehouse, she owns a building, and she converted that building into cannabis use, and she needed the fund to renovate the building. So again, it makes sense, and our lender liked that, and they put in $10 million for it. So again, yes, absolutely. There are so many, well, I shouldn't say so many, but there are more and more lenders now getting into this space just because they know sooner or later the federal government is going to legalize it. It's just a matter of time. So many of them start to get into position to capture this market. Equipment loans, we talked about that already, right? So a doctor's office that needs medical equipment, a restaurant that needs a walk-in refrigerator. I know a lot of you are purchasing EV charging stations for businesses. All these things are equipment loans, and we talked about equipment loans last week. So if you want to know more about equipment loans, go to our Facebook and not Facebook, go to our YouTube channel and watch that that training. Okay. So again, we have hard money, we have soft money, we have private money. A lot of people asking us, hey, is commercial lending hard money? No, hard money is just type of money. It's a type of commercial loan, but it's not just hard money in commercial. I just mentioned it to you. If you are purchasing a multifamily, the interest rate is somewhere around 5%, 5.5%. That is not hard money. That is even cheaper than the bank. Right? But now hard money, what does hard money mean? It means that when you need money very, very quickly. So for example, we just signed up with a hard money lender. If you go to our Facebook, we make a posting yesterday, I believe, up to $2 million. They looked at is just the property. They don't care about appraisal. They don't care about income. They don't care who's in there. As long as the property makes sense, they do a desktop evaluation, and they can close between 5 to 10 business days. Just that fast, okay? They don't care about what it is. And now this type of loan is for people that need money very, very quickly. And you might ask, who are these people? Oh, they are out there all day long. You might have a business guy that is in a trading business, that he has shipment on, in a container at the seaport, and he needs money quickly to pay for all those inventory. He cannot wait for month and month and month. They need money right now, like yesterday. And absolutely, we can do that all day long. So again, that is quick money and private money. So yes, absolutely. So yes. Now, different loan have different interest rate. So I'm going to talk to you about what interest rate is all about. How do we determine interest rate to, well, as a matter of fact, why don't I start on this? Okay, so a lot of people ask, what is the interest rate? Okay, so you talk about all these different type of program right here. What is the interest rate for closing a deal in 5 days? What is the interest rate for closing a deal in under SBA, so on and so forth. Now, this is where the basic. So if you don't know anything about commercial lending, I wish you to pay attention to this particular slide. If you understand this slide, it will put you above a lot of people. Okay, a lot of people, even bankers. So in commercial lending, when people come ask you what is the interest rate, first of all, for true business people that needs funding, the first question they can ask you is not what is your interest rate. They will not ask for this. They always tell you what their project is. And they tell you what they need. And their concern is that, can you really deliver? Can you really give me the money I need to finish my project? So for example, the $10 million cannabis loan that we funded to that lady, do you know, did you think that she would ask you what interest rate is? No, she did not. She wants to know that, hey, Alan, I have a project right here. I need $10 million. And if I don't have that $10 million, all those hundreds of millions of dollars I cannot get access to, because I need this money to renovate this building so that I can get that business into my building. Do you know how much we charge them on that cannabis deal? We charge them 11%. Now, 11% on a cannabis on $10 million, that's a lot of money. But you know what? Do you know what she said? She said, wow, Alan, thank you so much. You know why? It's because when she has that $10 million, she told me every single month, once she completed, every single month, her projection income is $3.5 to $4 million a month. So do you really think that he care about that 11%? No, she doesn't. Okay, so she can pay off the loan. She's saying that she can pay off the loan in about 6 to 7 months after fully operation. So again, the reason that I'm sharing with you is that I want you guys to take off your head and put in the commercial lending. A lot of us is veering ahead of B2C business, business to consumer business. You take off the head, you wear B2B business. Now we are talking about business, okay? You wear the business hat, and now all of a sudden you realize that it's a totally different world out there. So let me share with you. What do you do when people ask you, what is the interest rate? The first question you always ask is that, how much do you need? Every project is a good project out there. I know it, okay? You don't have to tell me how good your project is. Just tell me, how much money do you need? They're saying that, okay, I need 100,000. Then I know out of all the lenders that we have, there are so many lenders I don't need to touch. You know why? Even though we have 500 different lenders, some lender will focusing on a certain type of loan amount. Some lender with certain type of loan amount. So some lender, anything below $350,000 is their draw. They love it. But some lender will tell you, hey, Alan, anything below $5 million, don't even send it to me. Some lender will say, Mel, my minimum loan amount is 10 million. Okay. So again, if they tell me that I need $100,000 versus I need $1 million, now I know which lender to go to. And quite frankly, if you're asking for 100,000 versus someone that needs $10 million, the interest rate would definitely not the same. Okay. But first, always ask the first question, ask, how much money do you need? Second, you ask them, what do you need the money for? What do you need the money for? Now, somebody saying, hey, Alan, I need $1 million. Okay, very good. What do you need the $1 million for? He say, I'm going to use the $1 million to purchase a warehouse. Okay, now I know. Or someone saying, hey, Alan, I need $1 million. What do you need $1 million for? I need $1 million to open up a new business. Now, ladies and gentlemen, which one is same $1 million, right? Which one do you think would have a higher interest rate? The warehouse or the business? I can tell you, the $1 million to open up a new business will have a much higher interest rate, assuming that you can get $1 million for a business. Does it make sense? Why? It's because if you need $1 million to open up a new business, the lender cannot touch it. They don't even know what type of business that you're in. They don't know if you have that ability to run their business. They don't know that if you can even make money for that business. Am I right? Versus if you need $1 million to purchase a warehouse, today the warehouse is the hottest asset. They can touch it. They can smell it. They can go there. They can go inside of it. They can see it. It's a lot less risk. A lot less risk for the lender. Does it make sense? Okay. So if you're asking what is the interest rate, give you the tip. The higher the risk, the higher the what? Interest rate. The lower the risk, the lower the what? The lower the interest rate. So don't just come up to me saying that, hey, Alan, what is your rate? I have no idea what is my rate. The fact that when people ask me, hey, Alan, what is your rate? Just like you go to a doctor, you say, hey, doctor, I'm sick. What is the best medicine? The doctor have no idea. What does the doctor say? Well, sit down. Let me weight you. Let me listen to you. Let me see you. Let me, do all kind of tests on you before I can tell you what kind of medicine I want to give it to you. Am I correct saying that? So same thing with commercial. And that is why we call ourselves loan consultant. We are not a loan officer. We're a consultant. What does consultant do? Ask questions. Am I right? You go to an attorney. An attorney is a consultant. He asks you all kind of questions. There's no answer at the end of the meeting. All he did is just collect information. Doctors, same thing. Am I right? So we, as a commercial loan consultant, we do the exact same thing because that project, it got to make sense first. In order for us to understand that project, we have to ask questions. So ask them questions. What do you need the money for? Now, also, it's very important for us to learn how to ask questions, keep asking questions. So give you this example. Let's say somebody's saying that, okay, fine, I need $1 million to buy a warehouse. Keep asking, what do you buy the warehouse for? Is it for yourself to use or for rental? Right? Now, there's two different things. Now we get more information. Now, if the client's saying that I need to purchase it for my own use, okay, what do you use it for? What type of business that you have? What kind of income that business generate last year, the last 2 years, right? If somebody's saying that, hey, I'm buying the property for investment purpose, okay, is the property rented out? What is the rent? Is that a triple net lease or is that a gross lease? What kind of lease is this? How long is the lease? Okay, so again, keep asking questions, keep asking questions. The more questions that you ask, guess what? Your client will feel more comfortable. This in our industry because all these people out there in this commercial lending, they are business owners. They don't expect when they ask you a question, you throw, what is the interest rate? You throw back, 5.5, 6.7, without even knowing what they're trying to do. So learn how to ask questions, okay? So the next one that we ask is that, how fast do you need the money? Right? So I need $1 million to purchase a warehouse. Okay, how fast do you need the money? He's saying that I need the money yesterday. Now you ask question, why do you need the money yesterday? And you're asking me for the money today. There got to be a reason behind it. There must be, you already went to so many different lenders and they rejected you. Okay, so what happened? Tell me the real story. So again, that is, you drill on it, right? So last but not least, how long do you need the funding for? Somebody saying, hey, I just need the funding for 3 months. I just want to, pay off that shipment. And once I have the money, I'll pay you back. Somebody saying that, hey, it's a construction loan. I need it for 13 months. Somebody saying that, hey, this is stabilized multifamily. I need a 15-year loan, so on and so forth. So how long do you need the funding for? So these are the 4 very basic questions that you need to ask and to get answered. From these 4 questions, what are we trying to do? We are trying to figure out the risk of that project. Now, if you do not know, if you don't remember to ask these 4 questions, what do? You go back to your product list. You send them to your product and tell them whichever scenario that you want to use and click on the scenario. So for example, fix and flip, you don't know what question to ask, go to fix and flip and go to apply. And now every single item right here, we need, what is your FICO score? What is your credit score, right? How many deals you have accomplished for the last 36 months, so on and so forth. Right here, look, what is the purchase price? What is that question? Question number one, how much money do you need? What is the its value? How much money do you need for renovation? Right? You see, I mean, all these questions already designed for you in our scenario form, and all you have to do just to go to this back, have them to fill out this form, and we will get all these questions. And now, if we do not still lack of information, we will set up a three-way conference call with you and your client. Okay. So again, those are the basic questions that you need to ask. Now, what do you do after you ask all those questions? You come to us. Give us a call. We have many mentors behind the scene. I'm one of them. Many of you calling me. Francine is one of them. I'm not sure Francine is online today. There are so many people I cannot see. They're all close to 80 people now. Francine is one of them. George is one of them. Okay, we are all mentors behind the scene that help you to understand every single one of these deals. Okay, so once you collect enough information, talk to one of us, and we will hand in together to work together with you to let you know how the whole thing works. So you do not sell, you do not price, you do not give out interest rate, you do not promise anything to the client. All you have to do is to ask questions to answer his or her questions. Does it make sense? Okay. So that is the basic questions that you need to learn in commercial lending. Now, obviously people say, yeah, give me the interest rate, right? Okay, let me just give you the interest rate without knowing anything. If you really want interest rate, all I can give you is a range. It's a range of interest that I can share with you, right? So if you're doing fix and flip, oh, Francine, I see that you're here. Great, wonderful. So if you are doing fix and flip, it depending on your experience. The interest rate today somewhere between 9 to 12%. Now, a lot of people, especially you are new to this industry, you might say, wow, this is expensive. But let me ask you, what are you comparing to? Don't compare it to a beautiful built single family home is ready to move in. Don't do that. Okay, because a renovation loan, a fix and flip loan, you walk into one of those property, man, they got mold in it, it's flooded, it's very nasty, man, you smell, it's not livable. So you have to turn something ugly into something beautiful. And what is the risk? The risk is much higher than a beautiful single family home. Am I correct saying that? So again, if a higher risk, what happened to the interest rate? Higher interest rate. Okay. Now today, when you buy a beautiful single family home, go to the bank, your interest rate is somewhere around 7 to 8%. If you're buying an ugly house, but you have experience, your interest rate is what? Around 9.5, 10%. It's not much difference, but you make so much money by purchasing a fix and flip, and if you know what to do. Multifamily, I said it already, start at 5.5% today. Now, obviously, not everybody can do 5.5%. It's just a teaser rate. We all know that, right? But what I'm showing you is that this is a hot asset. Even though with not a non-stabilized multifamily, I can still get you in somewhere around 8%, 9%. That is about the same of buying a single family home. You see? Residential investment property, single family home, around 7%. Construction loan, it depending on what are you building. We just got, if you go to our Facebook, we just got a $73 million hotel construction term sheet. That term sheet is about 9.5% construction loan on a $73 million loan. Not bad at all, 9.3, right? But hey, if you're just building a single family, the construction loan is heavily based on experience, okay? The more experience you have, the better the rate would be, okay? Equipment loan, we said it already, somewhere between 6% to 10%. Hard money, at least 13%, you cannot get away from it, okay? Hot money. So commercial property. Now, when I say commercial property, there's many different type of property: warehouse, retails, parking lots, RV parks, office building, so on and so forth. So again, commercial property interest rate somewhere start at 8% and up. Okay, so that just gives you a range. what the interest rate would be. By no means the client can get something like this. It really depending on the profile and the project. So what is the process, ladies and gentlemen? It's pretty simple. I already said it many times. If you already have your own website with Sequoia, go to that product page, collect the right scenario, set it up to us. Now, if you run into anything that does not have a scenario form, send an email to support@seclending.com, or you see this contact us page right here, contact us today. All you have to do is just to click on it and tell us what you need. Okay, we have a team of people behind the scene, and we'll be able to help you out. So that is the process. So we try to make this business as simple as possible. The only way for us to disrupt this industry is to have a mass of agents that can help us to spread out, to let people know what we can do and what you can do. Okay, so we don't need you to be a professional commercial loan consultant. No, we don't. It takes years and years and years of experience. For example, right, like Francine, she has been in the commercial space for the last 25 years. 25 years. How many of us have 25 years to burn before you see your first paycheck? No, you want it today. And that's why we set up this platform. So it's so easy that you don't even need to know how to spell commercial lending. As long as you know of somebody that needs the funding, bring them to your own webpage, fill out a few scenario form, we evaluate it. And if we make it work, we make all money together. Okay, so that's all you needed to do. Your job is just to bring them onto the platform. We evaluate the project, and sometimes we need to set up a three-way conference call. And if the deal is a workable deal, all we need to do is to ask you to help us to collect documents. Sometimes you don't even need to help us to collect documents. You can just help us to push your client, remind your client that, hey, give us the document, give us the document. So our mentor in the back is going to close the deal for you. So it's about 50 minutes into the presentation, and that it's all I have for commercial basics. So this is something that very basic, but I hope that even though through this 30-minute basic presentation, you already learned a lot about commercial lending. And I bet you the information that we presented here, a lot of people out there have no idea something like this even exists. So guys, go out there, build a commercial lending business. This is the perfect time to do it. We have the platform, we have the tools, we have the lenders, we have the products. And hey, again, if you need us to improve in what area, let us know. But the most important thing is that, hey, let's make some good money together this year. Okay, guys? So that's all I have. Now, absolutely, we have 10, 15 minutes. So right now, let's open up the floor. If you have any questions, feel free to, unmute yourself and answer. Okay, I will do my best to answer. And while you're asking questions, I'm going to look at the checkbox right here. I see there's a lot of messages right here. Okay, so again, go ahead. Any questions? Feel free.
Hey,
Hello,
Alan.
Mr. Boo.
This is Enrique Francia from San Diego, California. Hey, everybody.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I just wanted to share a method to find commercial loan clients with everybody. One way is by working in the field of commercial real estate, which I do now. So I call on commercial multifamily property owners, the hundreds of units, and owners of industrial properties throughout the nation. So this is the fastest way to get commercial loan clients. If anybody is interested in learning more about this, I will put my email address in the chat. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you so much, Enrique. And now, since he built something like this, let me show you a trick. Okay. Let me show you a secret. Where can you find leads? So let me share with you this. Hold on a second. How many people know about this website right here called loopnet.com? How many people know about this? Loopnet.com. If you don't know, this is a gold mine right here. All the commercial real estate, this is a commercial real estate listing. So pretty much everywhere in the country, when they have commercial listing, they put it up there. Now, I'm not asking you to look for properties. Let me show you what happened. So let's say I am here in let's say in California. Okay. So I type in a zip code 90210. Okay. So let me do a search. So when I do a search, I see all these commercial property that show listing that showed up. Am I right? So now let's say in this case, I look at this one right here. Looks like this is an office building. This is a retail. Okay. Tell you that this is a retail. Okay. So this is a retail space. This is what is this? This is a retail space, also retail space. Okay, office space. Okay, now so on and so forth. Now what I'm going to do, I'm click on it. Guess what? What do I see? I see Chris Mara. He is a commercial listing agent. Now, guess what he wants? He wants to sell this property. So whoever comes in here to purchase that property, he wants to make sure that guy can get a loan for office building. Am I correct saying that? Now, this is Chris's number right here. Okay. This is Chris's email right here. And guess what you can do? Send an email to Chris saying that, hey, Chris, I am with Sequoia Lending. I am a commercial loan broker. I can fund office. He's selling office. Am I correct saying that? I can fund office. And if you have clients that needs funding for office, feel free to give me a call or give me a call. Let's connect and let's see if we can do business together. Does it make sense, ladies and gentlemen? Okay, so this is Chris. So how about you go down here and you look at the retail space right here. Okay, you go to retail space. Now you see what? You see Bridget. This is her number. This is her contact information. And now you send her an email saying that I'm with Sequoia Lending. This is my website. This is what I can offer. And we are specialized in doing retail space sales. If you need a loan, if you need a trusted loan officer, let us know. Let's talk, let's connect. Now, if she has questions that you cannot answer, guess what? Bring one of us out. Call me up, call Francine, call George, saying that, hey, let me and my partner together to talk to you. If you need to have a conference, we will be on the phone to talk to them all day long. Does it make sense, guys? Your job is to connect to all these commercial listing agents. They have deals, but they don't have the money. They have no idea where to find the money. And now you do. Okay. So again, I stop right here. Let me see. Any other questions? And I see a lot of people asking questions right here, right? So let me see. And again, I mean, if you want to ask anything, feel free, right? So we have a few more minutes.
Mr.
Hey,
Mr.
Alan.
Wu, Mr.
Yep,
Wu.
yep, yes, ma'am.
Hello.
Okay, I just have a quick question.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
if you bring someone in who is actually a realtor and they want to sell they're selling residential one property, is that person also going to get some kind of like a referral fee, like the person I brought in, or
Yes.
will I get a referral fee?
Yes. Go to, okay, very good question. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. This is our YouTube channel. And
Okay.
we have a video right here called Compensation 5.0. Watch that video and you know exactly how you get paid.
Okay, wonderful.
Okay, got it?
Yes, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. And somebody saying that you are ready to sign up. This is from Bernita. You ready to sign up? Absolutely. Who invited you here? I don't know. So talk to the person who invited you here, and you're supposed to be signed up under that person. You got to know who that person is. If you don't, then send an email to us, seclending.com. Go to our website, seclending.com, and contact us, and we find you who that person is, and we sign you up. Okay. Canada. Okay, a lot of people asking about Canada. Yes, can we do Canada? Yes, we do have a lender that can do Canada only for real estate properties. Let me show you the product. Okay, so only on the real estate funding and $5 million and above. Now, still Canada, United States, even though we're neighbors, but the law is different. The currency is different. For our lender to fund in Canada, the project got to make sense. If they are just trying to get a $300,000 loan up there, no, please don't. This is not something that we can do. But however, if they are looking for money for at least $5 million and above, whether it's purchasing a multifamily, development, whatever that might be, yes, we are interested to take a look at. Now, we along with that question, a lot of people ask, can we do other countries? The short answer is yes, as long as that country is friendly to the United States. And we might be able to do that, okay? It's case by case basis, depending on how far away they are. You know, the dollar amount ranging from $5 million and above. Some country, for example, like Mexico, they are looking for at least $20 million and above. You're talking about Europe, you're talking about at least $25 million and above, so on and so forth. But focusing here in the United States, there's so much money for you to make in the United States. Okay.
Oh, hi,
yes,
Alan.
Can you hear me,
Welcome.
Adam? Can you hear me?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Who is this?
This is Edgar from DC.
Hey, Edgar, what's up?
Hey, I got just a quick question in reference to that site. Is that the only site where you can reach out to commercial listing agents? Or is there something like, you know, there's Zillow, there's all these other sites
Again,
for...
Zero is for residential.
No, I
they
know,
don't
but
go-
I'm just making an example, like is there any other like it, or this is the only one?
as far as I know, LoopNet is the most, you know, the most.
Oh, okay.
It's the biggest website that
no, I
everybody
don't
goes to.
really take
There are other websites, but you know, you don't get as much information.
Okay.
Now, when you talk about Zillow, my suggestion is that, hey, you can definitely go to Zillow, and a lot of our a lot of real estate agents are selling property right there. Yes, go contact them too. Let them know that, hey, I'm a commercial loan broker. I fund investment properties without seeing your tax return. We don't look at your tax return. As long as you set up an LLC, we can fund that property all day long. So right now, yes, there are so many real estate agents start to partner up with us. And quite frankly, a lot of them have no idea people can actually purchasing in a single family home under an LLC as an investment property, and you don't check their income. So there's a huge opportunity right there also. Yes, absolutely. Go find them.
Mr. Wu, this is Pamela Jones. I have a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
I have an association, which is a non-for-profit, and it is a business. So my question is, does it have to be a LLC only, or can I use my association?
Now, if you're talking about nonprofit, that it's a little bit different, because no one has the heart to foreclose a nonprofit company if they don't pay the mortgage. Does it make sense? So, so a lot of the lender don't want to go into that space, just because, you know, you never know what happened, right? So they give you money to a nonprofit and they don't pay.
Please.
And especially for church, nobody have the guts to foreclose God's house. So nonprofit, can we do it? Yes, we can do it, but we don't have much lenders to do it. So it really depending on how we structure the deal. So for example, right now we are doing one, it's for the veterans housing. So the veterans housing is actually a nonprofit. So the way to make it work is that they purchase all this housing under a traditional LLC, and that traditional LLC rent it back to the nonprofit organization.
You
So
said
again,
they rent it back to the nonprofit.
right. So there are ways to do it. So for example, there are churches like that, right? So there it's a company that owns the church, and the church, owns the building, and the building rented to a church. So in that case, yes, you can do it. But if you just strictly lend money to a nonprofit, a lot of lenders don't want to touch it. Put it this way. Okay.
Okay, but based on the qualifications to get, if you like my company is seasoned right now, it's almost 2 years old, so it's a little bit older. So if I go get an LLC, that's a brand new business. How does that affect me?
It doesn't matter. As long as the LLC owns the property, we don't need seasons.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. There's another question right here.
Wait a
saying
minute,
that,
let me circle back real quick on that. So somebody can form an LLC tomorrow and purchase a property the very next day. So it doesn't matter.
absolutely. Yes.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yes. Okay. Some people asking about what about Airbnb LLC?
Yes, that's me. So I want to buy a property in Florida, and instead of renting it as a, monthly rental, I would like to do an Airbnb so I can also use it sometime, So would that be a project that you guys, your company can fund?
Yes, absolutely. So now this is a trick. If you or it, two scenarios. Scenario number one, the property that you want to buy, it is not running Airbnb yet. So you want to purchase that property and want to run an Airbnb business inside of it in the future after you purchase it. Okay.
Correct.
So in this case, we can still fund it, but we can only fund the property based on market rent value of that property. Okay.
Okay.
Now,
Mhm.
after you purchase the property and now you run the property for Airbnb for more than 12 months. So in that case, we will look at your last 12 months in Airbnb income to determine what is your monthly income, and we can use that to fund the Airbnb. Does it make sense?
Okay, so the first funding will be to buy the property, and that's the guarantee for the funding. I assume at a certain interest,
Yes.
and then after 12 months, it's possible to fund again with a less interest because I have a business.
Well, not necessarily less interest, because I mean, right now you can buy a single family home. The property is vacant. Okay, so we
Okay.
looked at that, and probably the interest rate is about 7%, 7.25%, something like this. But
Okay.
if you use an Airbnb income, so normally Airbnb income is much more than
It's
more
higher.
than the traditional income, right? So you might
Mhm.
be able to get more leverage. So for example, if you're just purchasing regularly, we might be able to fund you 70% LTV, for example. But if you
Okay.
use Airbnb income, we might be able to fund you 80% LTV, right? So in
Okay.
order for us to use the Airbnb income, we have to see 12 months of your Airbnb history in order for you to get there. Not necessarily means
makes
that
sense.
the interest rate will be lower, means that you can get more
Yeah, but
leverage
the
out.
amount can be higher.
The amount can be higher, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
And a couple more questions. Number one, how long is the funding, especially for residential
30 days.
properties? Okay, in 30 days. Okay, but for how many years can I get a loan?
30 years.
30 years. Okay, good. And can that be changed along the way? I have a funder, lender in the beginning, and then 3 years from now, I can find another lender.
Normally, for something like this, we will have between a 3 to 5 years prepayment penalty. Okay, so obviously a 5-year prepayment penalty, the interest rate will be lower. 3-year prepayment penalty, the interest rate will be a little bit higher. But normally, this is a business loan. They don't want you to jump all over the place, and they
Logical.
want you to keep it for at least 3 to 5 years.
Okay. Okay, that's good. So after 5 years, you can look for other, because things happen in the in the world, and interest changes and stuff like that. So after 5 years, you can shop around or come back to the company
Yes.
and maybe refinance.
Yes, absolutely.
Last question. How much do we need to have our money? Because
Well,
you spoke about 70% of the value of the home.
I would say prepare for about 25%,
Mhm.
25% down. That is pretty standard.
Okay. Is that in every single loan or only in properties?
That
So
is
let's say
for
someone
that's
wants
for
for
1 to 4 unit investment property. Yes.
Okay.
So-
If someone wants money for equipment, do they have to have also a certain percentage of the sum that they need?
Okay, equipment is totally different. Now,
Uh-huh,
equipment,
understand.
depending on the type of the length of the business in history. So for
Okay.
equipment loan, many times, let's say the business is already in operation for at least 2 years, we can get
Okay.
up to 100%.
Okay.
Okay, so
So
they
the
don't even
number
need
of
to come up with
years-
anything.
But if it's newer, if it's a newer company, I assume that they cannot get 100% of what they need. They have to
Absolutely.
have their own money.
So for a brand new company, the maximum that I can get you is $50,000.
Maximum 60K,
50.
50. Okay.
Okay.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Okay.
The risk. Okay.
Okay, I'm reading at a lot of these questions. A lot of them are already answered. For example, what is the HEM growth? What is the interest rate for 5 to 7 days? I answered that already. How many points do you charge? That is a very good question. We make money by charging points. Okay, so we charge between 1 to 3 points on on a residential, sorry, on a real estate related business. So let's say if you were talking about a $70 million deal that we're doing, probably 1 point or less than a point, we got pretty good income for that. But if you're talking about $100,000 fix and flip loan, so normally we charge, 2 or 3 points to make sense for us to do the deal. So really depending on, if you have questions, feel free. I'm just going to read through all these text messages
Can you
right here.
explain the
Yes,
Oh,
I
hi.
explain-
have a question.
Yeah.
Hey, Alan, this is Enrique from San Diego. I have clients looking to purchase $1.4 million fourplex. They're looking to put as little down payment as possible. Can they put 70%, obtain a 70% LTV loan through Sequoia, and then a 25% loan from a hard money lender in second position? Is that possible?
No,
Okay, so nobody will offer that, right?
no, because again, we are talking about commercial lending. So every lender want our client to have skin in the game. Now, obviously, from an investor's point of view, it does make sense to put down as little as possible. Hey, nothing wrong with that. But from the lender's perspective, that's a very high risk because now all the risk is on the lender's shoulder. If something happened, this guy can walk away very easily without any skin in the game, right? So no lender will be willing to do something like this.
What if the scenario was a 6-unit property, a commercial property?
It doesn't matter what units. It doesn't matter how much the unit. So the first lender, many first lender don't even allow you to have a second lien.
Okay, all right, thanks.
So, and again, if somebody that doesn't have money to put down, probably he's not going to qualify for the first lien anyway. Okay. So anyone else? Somebody's asking.
Alan.
Yes. Who's this?
I have a quick question. For the Airbnb property in Florida, well, I should say future Airbnb, and currently it's not rented out. The borrower is looking for 25% down payment. What other document do you need from the borrower?
Okay, so you're talking about 1 to 4 unit. What other documents that you need? Did you see the see, that is why you need to go. Okay, hold on.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
so
saw
I'm showing you
this
the.
one.
Okay, so see, you see the screen right here. So you go
Yes.
to product, go to 1 to 4 unit, right? So now the document that you need, right here. Okay.
Since they don't have a business credit, do you?
No, we
because
don't need business
it's
credit.
under-
We
oh,
need their
okay.
personal credit. Okay, we
You
check their
need-
personal credit. We don't need business credit.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
all right. Somebody's asking where do we find a replay? YouTube. Go to our YouTube channel. What else?
One more question. What's about lands? So let's say someone buys lands property just to sell it later or to, to sell it to developers. That's a business on its own, right? Even though they will not use it for, agricultural cattle or something like that.
Yeah, we can definitely fund land, and land is another
Okay.
animal. So I'm going to have a
Yeah.
training to specifically talk about land in some other training. But yes,
Okay.
we can definitely fund land. So as you can see in our scenario, we do have a scenario for land.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay.
With the land, if you need a land and want to buy equipment for, say, the EV equipment, can those two be put together or no?
I need to see the detail. So let's say an EV is an equipment, right? So from the lender's perspective, the business got to make sense to buy that equipment. So for example, if you have a brick and mortar business to purchase an equipment that makes sense. So for example, let's say you have a restaurant, you have a parking lot in front. You say, okay, fine, I buy EV station, makes sense. But let's say if you have an insurance company that you own a piece of land, you're saying that, hey, I want to buy EV stations as an equipment. Now you might not be able to purchase it as an equipment, but however, let's say you own a piece of land and you want to buy that EV station, we don't use equipment loan. So in this case, we might be able to refinance the land to cash out to pay for the whatever you need to pay for. Does it make sense?
Mm-hmm. Because that's what I'm looking into right now. So I have an opportunity to buy a piece of property.
Right.
And then I want to put at least 2 units on to start. So that's why I was asking.
Yeah, so in that case, because you don't have a business, that makes sense for us to get you an equipment loan on that. So most likely there are many other ways for you to get funding, right? So let's say the two stations add together, let's say, I don't know, $20,000, right? So
Mhm.
the easiest way to do is to, in your situation, to look into if you have any other investment property, you cash out to $20,000. Or if you have a primary residence, you use a HELOC to get $20,000 out. There are many different ways for you to pay for it other than equipment. So equipment, again, you have to have the brick and mortar business to, to purchase equipment.
Okay, last question for me. In speaking with a mayor, I spoke with a mayor regarding their location, their village. So I was asking him if they have land that they could put their EV stations on. They can get an equipment loan because they own the land, correct?
Right, they own the land, but you're talking about government.
And that's different.
Yeah, we don't lend money to government.
Okay, well, teach me, I'm new.
No,
Okay.
seriously. We lend money to businesses, right? So government is not a business, and plus government have their own funding to do this kind of stuff. So I don't think, yeah, we cannot lend money to government.
Okay, great, thank you.
Right. Okay. Anyone else? I'm looking through all these. Is there a cost to join Sequoia? Okay. When you join Sequoia, there's no cost, but we do have a cost for you to pay $30 a month to use this back office right here, that website, because you will own your own website, you have your own domain. That's for us to offset the expenses. But however, $30 a month, $360 a year for you to have a commercial lending business, I think that's a pretty good deal. But to make it even sweeter, we do have a promotion this year where you just close one deal. I don't care what kind of deal that you close. As long as you close one deal with Sequoia, we refund you the whole year of membership fee. Okay, so for example, you join us today and you pay $30 in February and you close a deal in March. On top of your commission, we pay you $360 for you to pay the rest of the membership fee. Okay.
Oh, hi.
Yes.
Yeah, what I'm just asking regarding Guam. What kind of funding will be available for Guam?
Guam, I don't know if we have any lender that can go to Guam, even though Guam is a U.S. territory. But again, I have to find out. I'm not sure if you guys are in the same group. I have another person ask me about Guam also today. So I will look into it to see, what kind of option we have over there.
All right, thank you.
Okay. All right.
Alan.
What's the
How
process
about
of financing?
invest in electrical vehicle charging station?
Sorry, George. Can you say it one more time?
Electrical vehicle charging station.
Yes, sir. What about it?
If people like to get a loan to invest those stations, is that possible?
Well, again, that is equipment loan. Okay, I did a training last week specifically talk about this. You can go to our YouTube channel and watch that equipment loan funding. So in short, yes, the EV station we are selling to businesses. Okay, so again, if the business it's a brick and mortar business, for example, like a retail, an apartment, a warehouse, places like this. Yes, I mean, we can use equipment loan to fund them all day long. That's not an issue. Now, if you are an investor, I'm not sure if that's right. If you're an investor that you want to purchase a whole bunch of EV stations and install to all these commercial space, now, can you do that? Yes, we can still get you a loan for that, but we do need to look into your income to see if you can qualify to get such a loan. So we need to look at your financials, your bank statements, your tax returns, and things like this. So that is possible for you to do that. So I don't know if I answer your question.
Yeah. Because I have the business. They are going to build 600 EV charging station in California. So that's a lot.
Yeah. And if they are manufacturers that they want to build EV stations, yes, absolutely. We can definitely fund them a business loan for that. So, as long as they produce the EV station and they sell it to someone and they can get invoice and things like that, yeah, we can definitely fund them all day long. But we do need to look into the detail of the scenario. Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
Hi, Alan. Can I actually get in touch with you? Because I would like to discuss something with you offline.
Who's this? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Who's this?
Yeah, Idris.
Oh, okay. I see you now. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is it possible for me to contact you and discuss something with you? I actually build sites, hub sites and that. So I was wondering if there was another strategy I could talk to you about.
I just post my phone number on the chat group. So feel free to text me, email me, call me anytime.
I will. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Okay. Anyone else? What about lending in Mexico? Same thing. Lending in Mexico, it has to be real estate related. At least, Mexico, I think the minimum is like 20 million and up, because again, that is a totally different world over there. Personal credit versus business credit. Okay. Do I hold on to that question? We have a partner that is going to come online, I believe in 2 weeks, to talk about business credit versus personal credit. So you are right on the target. Okay. What else? I want to start Airbnb under a new LLC. Can I get funding too? Yes, absolutely. You can do that. Now, if you want to start a new business for LLC, we can fund you for buying the property, but we cannot fund you for rental, like the beds and all those things. We cannot do that. Can you show the rate slide again? Are you still there, Bianca? Do you still want to see the rate? Somebody saying that she want to see the rate. So let me post that.
This is amazing.
Okay, so let me show that to you. Okay, so this is the rate. I think that's what you're looking for. Who else? LoopNet. Okay, yeah. What website? Powerful. Got a home baker with an LLC. Just got a big account pending with Vegas Golden Knights and need money. Yeah, absolutely. We need partnership buy-in to become exclusive provider for them. Can we use our service somehow? Absolutely, Anthony. Submit a scenario to us or send us a email or request, whatever that might be. Let's dig into a little bit deeper, see what they want, what kind of funding that they need. Okay. So again, that's all the information I see over at the chat box. And yes, sir.
I'm in the UK, yeah, and I've just heard about this, the last meeting I was on with you. Can I get I don't even know your postcode. I don't have a code for you. You just gave me a number. I don't know what code to use. Can you send me an email as well? Because I think I'll email.
Okay, sure. Let me text you my email.
Okay, excellent.
240. The area code, it's a +1 that is dialed into the United States.
Okay, excellent.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Anything else? We are already 20 minutes past the hour, and normally I stop at the hour. So, anyone else? If not, then we stop. We call it off for tonight.
I'm very excited about this. Thank you for your time.
Absolutely, guys. And as you can see, we have more and more people sign up for our platform. So again, utilize the platform, go out there to generate deals, and it's not that difficult to make a 6-digit here in commercial lending, guys. Okay. Thank you very much, and I see you next week.
Nice
Good night,
one,
everyone.
Good night. Nice one, Alan.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.